Good evening. You're on to my major prime live from the economic capital in Douala. This is Prime News. My name is Genda Pelgrin Blanche King. I will begin today's edition of Prime News from the northwest region, where a landslide in Sisia Kwata in the northwest region has rendered a family homeless. The landslide occurred late yesterday, killing a 9-year-old. The SGO for Mezam, Simomu Emil, accompanied by Bamenda City Mayor and the Mayor of Bamenda 3 Council, paid a visit to the affected area to condole with affected families and also calling on those living in risk zone to evacuate as soon as possible. Details in the following report with Charles Kebwa from Bamenda.
Inhabitants of Sisia Quarter in the Bamenda 3 municipality Tuesday 29 September, breaking Wednesday 30th September at about 7 p.m. witnessed landslide killing a 9-year-old girl by name Ngong Blanche. The house affected by the landslide had a family of 5 as occupants. 1 dead and 4 others survived. Mezam SDO Simomo Emil, accompanied by the Bamenda City Mayor Achombong Tembeng Paul and the Mayor of Bamenda 3 Council Fongu Kletus, who paid a visit to the affected site to condole with the family, said,
landslide occurred last night around 7:30, and you have seen the consequences. It appears that a young girl, 9-year-old, died. And this is considered as a red zone. And there is a deliberation at the city council level asking all those people who are living around this red zone to leave.
Bamenda City Mayor Achombong Tembeng Paul, talking to the inhabitants living in the Sisia Quarter red zone, asked those still living in the area to leave the place within 24 hours or move to their graves as it rains heavily in the city of Bamenda.
People are moving to, or whether they are not moving, shouldn't be apparent at this moment, because the only other option place for them to move to is the grave. So they either choose to move out of here or stay here and move to the grave. And we as the government and the people in authority in charge, we don't want anybody to move to the grave. So we're giving them a free hand within the next 24 hours to move somewhere else. Less with the outpour of rains, the downpour of rains will certainly be coming back to bury them, and that's not one of our options.
It should be noted the Sisia neighborhood like Abango had been identified as risk zones with a call on the inhabitants to leave for safer areas.
We are the sick now. So another boy as you don't come, and come don't come.
With heavy rains in Bamenda these days, inhabitants of risk areas like Sisia and Abango are advised to be cautious.
Basic food items have been donated to persons living with disability in Kumba, Kmer division of the Southwest region. This was during a launching ceremony of an organization charged with the empowerment of those living with disability. Our reporter, Tamfo Sidwan Dimbia, was present at the event. He compiled the following reports.
2 modern classrooms erected at Government Nursery and Primary School, Ekemba Fiango Kumba 2 subdivision, are ready for use as of this 2020-2021 academic year. The handing over ceremony took place on Tuesday 29 September 2020 by the Kumba 2 Council team led by the second Deputy Mayor of the municipality, Madame Chibili Vivian.
I officially hand you, Mr. Inspector, this keys.
The 2 modern classrooms constructed within the 2019 public investment project will save the children who are future leaders of the country. Reason why the second deputy mayor encouraged parents to all send their children to school come October 5, 2020.
Send your children to school. They are safe. You can see the environment is very clean. You can see we are ready.
She says the government has done its part and it is time for the Kumba 2 population to also do its part by sending their children to school.
The government has done its part and now it is left for the parents. So I'm appealing to the parents, please come Monday, October 5th, send your kids to school. Once the government is ready, the parents are ready, I think we have no further hitches.
My Media Prime TV was also preoccupied with the challenges associated with the outbreak of COVID-19, but the female mayor believes that the council will continuously crusade against the spread of the virus.
We are giving out a face mask to the school authorities. We will be handing sanitizers to the school authorities and buckets and soaps to make sure that these children will be safe. We cannot wait for COVID before we get an education. That is the message I want to send home. COVID, yes, the children must be educated. So the best we can do is to prepare them against the COVID while educating them.
As it stands, the Kumba 2 Council is ready to fight for effective back to school in its municipality.
That was rather a call for back to school come October 5, that is Monday, championed by the Kumba or the Kumba 2 Council in the Kmer Division, Southwest region of the country. We'll get back to the basic food items donated to persons living with a disability in Kumba in a subsequent edition of the news. Meantime, the National Coordinator of Stand Up Cameroon, Edith Kawala, says the destiny of Cameroon cannot be determined by individual political parties or actors and groups, but by the efforts of all Cameroonians, irrespective of their religious or socio-political affiliations. She was speaking yesterday during a press conference. Details in the French language with Gladys Momochongina.
L'association Stand Up for Cameroun, constituée de membres de divers partis politiques et même de personnes neutres mais épousant la vision, a tenu une réunion hier dans laquelle ils ont élaboré sur leur cahier de charges.
Notre premier acte concret vers le changement, un acte entièrement sous notre contrôle, est de parler et d'agir de manière non violente, en personne et sur les médias sociaux.
Par cette occasion, il demande la libération des 4 personnes arrêtées le 18 septembre dernier, des manifestants ayant été interpellés, de la résolution de toutes les crises sociopolitiques existantes au Cameroun. Pour cela, ils appellent tous les Camerounais à revêtir le noir pour la journée du 2 octobre prochain.
Dans l'immédiat, Stand Up for Cameroun demande 1. La libération de Moussa Bello, Nsama Etienne, Nira Angoun et Telemembo, qui ont été arrêtés le 18 septembre 2020 et sont actuellement détenus à la prison de Nouvelle. Ils n'ont commis aucun crime. 2. La libération de tous ceux qui ont manifesté pacifiquement le 22 septembre 2020. Une protestation pacifique n'est pas un crime. 3. La libération de tous les prisonniers politiques précédemment arrêtés dans le cadre de la crise anglophone. 4. La libération de tous ceux qui ont été abusivement et illégalement arrêtés dans le cadre de la crise de Boko Haram.
Leur arrestation, je crois, est un avertissement pour les Camerounais. Parce qu'il y en a qui pensent que, si je ne marche pas, je ne vais pas marcher, et donc moi je ne serai pas arrêté. Voilà 4 jeunes qui n'ont pas marché, qui n'avaient pas l'intention de marcher, qui ont été arrêtés. Ils ont été détenus en violation de leurs droits parce que dès que nous avons appris leur arrestation, moins de 2 heures après qu'ils aient été arrêtés, leur avocat était à la Légion de gendarmerie où ils étaient détenus.
Par conséquent, beaucoup reste donc à attendre de la part de Stand Up for Cameroun dans les jours à venir.
The Bank of Central African States, BIAC, will soon have a branch in the Bolova South region of the country. To this effect, Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongote was in the South region to lay the foundation stone of the structure. From Quinta completes the story in the following reports.
Prime Minister, Head of Government, Dr. Joseph Diongote yesterday laid the foundation stone for the construction of BIAC's regional headquarters in Bolova South region of Cameroon. On behalf of the head of state, President Paul Biya, Prime Minister John Gouche, accompanied by Governor of Biak Mohamed Abbas Toli, presided over the ceremony for the construction of the Bank of the Central African States at Angono, a locality in Ebolova. The three-story structure, to be erected in 24 months on a surface area of 9,144 square meters, will facilitate cross-border business transactions between Cameroon and other CIMAC countries with whom Ebolova shares boundaries including Gabon, Equatorial Guinea and Congo. Speaking at the ceremony, Prime Minister Joseph John Gouche indicated that the construction of the new BIAC office in Ebolova would not only decongest the collection of economic and monetary data, but it will boost the local economy by adding more jobs. The event yesterday saw the presence of traditional authorities on rights to bless the ceremony and ensure works unfold hitch-free.
Inhabitants of Manjo in Bertois, which plays host to a large faction of the Bororo populace, recently held a conflict resolution working which to them shall go a long way in resolving the conflicts between herders and farmers in that part of the country. Jean Didier in the French language.
C'est à l'occasion de la Journée internationale de la paix que le réseau camerounais des organisations des droits de l'homme RECAP a organisé un atelier de formation entre éleveurs et agriculteurs afin d'éviter les conflits qui prennent parfois des divers moments épisodiques, des tournures violentes sous l'influence des facteurs sociopolitiques, culturels et historiques. L'atelier, organisé en présence des acteurs de la société civile, a vu la participation du délégué du Minépia et de l'agriculture, ainsi que des forces du maintien de l'ordre.
Les conflits vont toujours exister. Et comme les conflits vont toujours exister, c'était vraiment une opportunité, une aubaine de trouver des voies et mesures pour prévenir, pour faire en sorte que lorsqu'il y a conflit, non seulement qu'on puisse trouver d'abord des solutions à l'amiable, mais aussi de prévenir ces conflits. C'est-à-dire que les agriculteurs, ils doivent maîtriser la loi qui organise les secteurs d'activité. Les éleveurs doivent aussi avoir la maîtrise de la loi qui cadre avec leurs activités. Et aussi l'État doit faire le suivi, l'État doit jouer son travail. Les ONG aussi doivent œuvrer pour la sensibilisation des textes, vulgariser les textes, parce que c'est le plus souvent les agriculteurs et ces éleveurs ne maîtrisent pas les textes.
Pour répondre à ces défis, le réseau camerounais des organisations des droits de l'homme et son partenaire Mbouskouda, association culturelle Bororo, unissent leurs efforts pour la mise en œuvre du projet, intitulé Réseau pour la paix, prévenir et résoudre les conflits grâce au mécanisme d'alerte précoce en Afrique.
Satisfait du déroulement de cet atelier qui a été très riche. Déjà, si on considère la qualité des participants, nous avons eu la présence des personnes ressources, telles que le délégué de l'agriculture, le délégué de l'élevage, qui ont de par leur connaissance et par leur rôle outillé, éclairé les éleveurs et les agriculteurs qui avaient véritablement besoin d'être informés sur les procédures, sur la réglementation en matière de gestion des conflits agro-pastoraux.
Les échanges et débats entre différents participants permettront de mieux situer les responsabilités des uns et des autres, afin d'éviter les conflits qui ruinent et déciment les communautés. Par manque de dialogue, nous sommes appelés à cohabiter ensemble et éradiquer le tribalisme et le sectarisme. Le Cameroun est un et indivisible, et la terre n'appartient pas aux hommes, mais à l'État.
BOCOM Cameroon has effectively integrated all its sub-departments into a new permanent site along the Douala Port neighborhood. During the expository tour of the city, the various departments, staff and services offered by the top petroleum brand company were formally introduced to the media and the population at large. Details with Dalingande.
This is the new edifice structured to contain all the departments of the BOCOM Cameroon Group. Situated along the Douala Port vicinity, the BOCOM International Group is made up of 8 companies. While taking a tour around the new site, other lucrative and leisure facilities like the restaurant, gym and other services were made known to the general public present. During a special press briefing with the CEO of the BOCOM Group, a revelation of their humanitarian projects was also made known.
Encercle le permis. J'ai décidé de prendre en charge à partir de l'année prochaine 5 enfants par village jusqu'à diplôme ingénieur. jusqu'à la formation à l'étranger et qui viennent travailler dans en tant que cadre.
Besides their humanitarian engagements, BOCOM Cameroon also plays great roles in boosting the country's economic, social, educational, environmental and sanitary sectors, which on several occasions has left the top leading company multiple award winner. As a proud employer to over 3 million direct employees across the CEMAC zone, the vice president of the BOCOM group further elucidates on the group's prowess.
Nous présentons la description des produits pétroliers aujourd'hui. BOCOM Pétroleum est deuxième du marché. Voilà. En termes de volume sorti dans les stations, ça représente au minimum 12 millions de litres par mois, en moyenne. Et en termes de stations-service, nous sommes à 75 stations-service, avec au moins 5 projets en cours.
Explaining further to the press, this top administrative staff says gender equality and cultural integration are top priorities of the group, while elaborating on their supply of gas in the market. To crown it all, the expository tour was finally concluded with a grand family photo session, including the staff, public and others present for lasting fraternity ties.
Student journalist on internship Abuno Clarence compiled news-making stories in Africa. His report.
Victor Tomega Dogbe has become the first female Prime Minister of Togo after being appointed on September 28, 2020 by Togolese President Fowe Nasambe. Victor Tomega Dogbe, age 60, replaces Komi Selum Klasu, who resigned on Friday 25 September 2020 as Prime Minister after being in office since 2015. And in Ghana, where a suspected separatist group attacked the State Transport Corporation in the town of Ho, Volta region, on Monday, September 28, 2020. The security guard is reported to have been held at gunpoint as the separatist group set one of the buses on fire and damaged another bus. Elsewhere, Tunisian President Kais Saied has announced his position in favor of resuming executions during the National Security Council meeting held on Monday, September 28, 2020, saying that anyone who kills a person for no reason deserves the death penalty. He made this remark following the murder of a 29-year-old woman by a man dumped in a dish near a highway that runs from the capital Tunis to suburb of Massa. The decision of the president is contested by Amnesty International and is worth recalling that Tunisia carried its last execution in 1991. We end in Guinea, where in the middle of a turbulent presidential election campaign has closed its borders with Guinea-Bissau and Senegal. A senior government official said on Tuesday 29 September 2020. The closure is for security purposes, the source in the Ghanaian capital Conakry said. According to Guinea-Bissau Interior Minister Boche Kante, he told journalists that he had received reports from border agents indicating that the frontier has been unilaterally closed since Sunday.
The newly appointed Secretary General of the Cameroon Professional Football League has been rejected by the president of the league. The fresh twist has further deepened the relationship between Fcfa and LFPC, while the rejection is what sportsman Fabrice Kendinga tells us in the following reports.
The crisis rocking the Cameroon Football Federation and the Cameroon Professional League has taken another twist, with the president of the Cameroon Professional League rejecting the appointment of the Secretary General to the LFPC. On Tuesday, September 29, the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Seydou Mbumbunjoya, appointed former interim Secretary General and current head of Players Licensing Department of Fcfa, Mbizuo Paul, as the Secretary General of the Cameroon Professional League LFPC, in accordance with Article 40 Sub 9 of the Institution Statute, and as respect of one of the resolutions of last week's Fcfa Executive Committee meeting. As it has been the case with communiques and counter-communiques from both conflicting parties, barely hours after his appointment, the General Pierre Semenge, reinstated president of the LFPC, issued a press release acknowledging the right of Fcfa to appoint a Secretary General at the LFPC, but insists such a person must be recommended by the Administrative Council of the League. Going by General Semenge, Mbizuo Paul, who has just been appointed, is not recognized by LFPC's Administrative Council. This has further dampened the deteriorating relationship between two institutions that are expected to work in synergy for the growth of Cameroon football.
That's it for today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Thanks for being a part. Join us tomorrow at 6:30 Cameroon time, God willing, for another edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Ewane Elaine Olinga produced, the news coordinated by Faith Tata Berinui. My name is Genda Pelgin Blanche King. Stay tuned to My Media Prime at 7 p.m. Cameroon time. Kim Leonard and his panelists will be here to talk about issues about the world, Cameroon and Africa. Enjoy. Good night.